What's the craziest dare you did or seen someone do in a game of truth or dare? One of the kids I went to school with was dared to drink a can of used oil in shop class. No one thought he actually would. He was both hospitalized and kicked out of the tech school at the end of his junior year of high school. His senior year, he had to make up all of the credits he was otherwise excused from because he did not complete 3 full years of his program at said tech school. To his credit, he did actually graduate on time. The lesson here is to stick to fresh oil. This one is a bit harrowing, but when I was 14 or so, I was hanging out with these other kids and we were playing truth or dare at their house. One of the kids dared another kid to go to his brother's room and get his heroin and snort a tiny bit of it. He said no, but he kept on pushing him, saying it was fine and that just a little bit is safe, and then the kid finally agreed. He did it, said it felt amazing, and then the 2 other kids asked to try, and they both did it. Heroin at 14 is crazy. Sadly, happens all the time. My cousin started at 15. Wild. We were at the dorms and dared our friend, who had just gotten accepted to a culinary school, not even taken a lesson yet, to make us a fancy dinner with the dorm room appliances. Toaster over, George Foreman grill, hot plate. He got up and left. We assumed it was because he was tired of us always making fun of him wanting to be an Iron Chef. He watched it all the time. Nope, his ass came back with groceries and made us a fucking short rib dish that I still think about to this day. And this was 22 years ago. All the other replies are gross or shocking, but this one is entirely wholesome. Is this friend a culinary professional now? They are. After finishing, they worked in the restaurant in a high-end hotel here in LA. Then he moved to Vegas and worked there for close to a decade. After, he came back to LA to be near his family, did the food truck and pop-up thing for a bit, then eventually started his own catering business. Damn respect to your friend. Drunk truth or dare Jenga in college. Girl pulled a piece that the dare was prank call your parents. It was like 3 a.m. and she called them and only repeated the phrase peace in the Middle East over and over until they hung up. But then they showed up at the dorms the next day to take her home, thinking she was either on drugs or had snapped. Small town, super religious family, so I was drunk and it was funny, wasn't flying with them. I had a party at my parents' house in college, and a friend of mine from the dorms wanted to come. He told his parents he was going and they were not happy, but the dude was 20 at the time, so he came anyway. The next day we get back to campus and there are cops canvassing the place with his photo because they had reported him missing the night before. Some Russian kid named Dennis in high school paid me $100 to jump in a frozen river in an Alberta January. I got hypothermia. He paid up. Life goes on. Landshark. At party. Strip naked. Get carried in plank position above the heads of 4 guys with a frisbee clenched between ass cheeks to look like shark fin while everyone sings Baby Shark song. This is kind of hilarious. I know a 21-year-old girl who was on a break from her 21-year-old boyfriend. Not broken up, but on a break. She was also really mad at him. Her shit-stirring best friend dared her to give her boyfriend's 18-year-old brother head, and she did. They were both pretty drunk when it happened. She took a picture of it and sent it to the boyfriend. For some reason, she thought this would merely upset him, not spell the end of their relationship. He ended up cropping his brother's face out, printing it out, making copies and leaving them all over their lecture hall right before class. It was very ugly, obviously. For some reason, she thought this would merely upset him, not spell the end of their relationship. Man, what an idiot for thinking that. I only blew your brother, it's not a big deal. Like, how did she think that would go? Dude licked old dried sheep seed off of a bus back seat for a $5. He didn't get the $5. Man didn't even finish giving him the dare before he just did it and we were all sat there shell-shocked. Still feel bad for that guy? A girl I barely knew got dared to show me her boobs in the bedroom of the birthday host? The host of the party was my best friend, who was already asleep on the couch next to the dining table where we were playing. He blacked out before we started the game. I went to the bedroom first, laying upright in bed like a king. She comes in right after and just undresses completely. I never thought that would happen, but was going with it, as I had a little crush on her the whole night anyway. After what felt like 10 minutes or so, we heard the other friends leave, so we went with the flow and had sex. Like 20 minutes later, best friend on the couch decided it was time for him to switch sleeping spots and caught us mid-act. Grabbed the blanket, which fell to the floor, and went back on his couch, not saying a word. I got the high five from him the next morning. Good times. Still my best friend today. He knew what was up. That's the work of a world-class wingman right there. Dared to run outside naked in the snow. I slipped, fell forward dick first into a snowbank. This is how you get Yetis. There was a rule in beer pong where if it was a shutout, you had to do a naked lap around the block. Anyways, two girls were playing and got shut out, but no one ever really enforced the rule anyways. Well, one of my college roommates, we didn't want to live with him, but he was the fifth guy needed for a house, was drunk, stripped down, and did the naked lap, even though he wasn't playing. Pretty sure he was more interested in just getting naked and somehow that would impress the girls. Anyways, cops chased him back to the frat house throwing the party and he got placed on a sex offenders list since children live in the neighborhood. In short, keep your NSFW dares inside the house. As a teen, we had a small indoor pool in our HOA. It was rarely used. A girl and I would go over and the dare was to get in the pool, lose the suit, swim from one side to the other, then put the suit back on. This was before security cameras were everywhere. It was invigorating. Cameras ruined all the fun. Back in the day, I would go to the store with nothing but a quarter in my pocket, and I would leave with a bag of chips, a candy bar, chewing gum, and a small soda. Now they have cameras. Not NSFW, but the funniest dare I ever saw was when I played pool against a guy and loser chooses truth or dare, my go-to if they didn't want to play for money. So fun. And when he lost, dared him to sidle up to this gorgeous girl at the bar, and in as serious and shy way as he could, confide in her that he wears shoes in the shower. He did it so perfectly, and she actually believed him and was being very comforting. Narrator. He did it so perfectly because he actually did wear shoes in the shower. The dare I got was to take the bra off the girl to my right using only my teeth. I got it done pretty quick, IMO, and when her turn came, it said to give your partner head for a minute. She was single, I was single, so I ended up being her partner. About 5 minutes into this head, I realized we were no longer playing truth or dare. Your friends are good friends, hers too. Lol, they set you up, hooked you up.
I had to jerk off for the remainder of the game. Was my GF a girl from school we were friends with, and myself? Did you come before the game was over? Flashed my tits and touched a guy's dick, to be if it was barely. Just reached in there and basically just rested my hand on it for a bit. He said it was cold. Buddy, your username makes me wonder, you were the mastermind behind that dare. I basically did ask for the first one. The dick actually wasn't me, funnily enough. I lol wasn't even the guy either. Was just another friend playing. In college, me and a bunch of friends and their foreigner friends rented a huge cabin up in Big Bear. I got dared to run ass naked into Big Bear Lake on a cold night in December, while there was still chunks of snow floating on the water. Yeah, I did it. Still have a video about 10 years later. It was honestly colder running back into shelter than being in the icy cold water. I think it helped contribute to getting me laid later that night. Running naked into ice water and afterward got laid? How long did you have to wait for your penis to reemerge from your inguinal region? Was playing with my girlfriend and a friend couple in the middle of a party. The other girl, who had a big crush on my girlfriend, didn't lose time to make her make out with her. The dares were increasingly more neck affection, asking us guys to blindly try to feel the difference between the girls' boobs, later putting our hands down their pants to guess who was who. We eventually moved to a private room where my girlfriend ended up fingering the other girl. Although neither of us cared on this evening, it seems we haven't been too subtle, since a few years later, I met this unrelated girl who had attended the same party. She casually recalled this evening by saying to me, all while keeping a completely straight face, this was the evening you guys had a gangbang, right? Although technically we didn't have a gangbang on this particular evening, we ended up having a few later on. I don't know how much of a secret this is within our mutual friend groups, and I choose not to ask. I dared a girl to have sex with me. She did. We went to the bedroom to do it. 10 minutes later, another girl came into the bedroom. I'm thinking, all right, a threesome. Nope, I got kicked out of the room so they could have fun.
Thank you so much for watching until the end. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next videos. In the meantime, check out the other ones. They're already waiting for you. Share your thoughts on this topic in the comments and tell your own stories. Wishing you a great day, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.